Hey, County 10 folks. We are back with another Tech Tips. I'm Shireen, the Adventure Queen. Patrick Lawson with us with Wind River Internet.
Hello.
If I look like I just got out of a cave, it's because I did. I just got out of a cave tour up in Sinks Canyon, which was so cool, but I have dirt all over my elbows, so I look a little hectic here, so I apologize. But Patrick, pretty excited. We teased about this last time we had Tech Tips, which by the way is every other month on County 10's Facebook page. But we talked about the difference in chargers. There's a major difference in charging devices.
Yeah, because we were like, oh, I did a USB cable. Like, what kind? And they're like, just a USB cable or a USB-C cable. Like, oh, there's a lot of differences.
Patrick would answer the question like that. Well, which kind of USB-C charger do you need? And so let's talk about the different types there are.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. There's basically three different types of things you need to look for. One is the connector, right? So what brought this up is the new iPhones from last year finally switched to USB-C, and this can deliver a lot of power. So how do you get all that power? And
which ones are better?
Yeah, which ones are better? So there's different ratings on different cables, and then there's different power supplies. And the bottom line is you need to go with whatever is recommended by the device manufacturer. You can't buy a big old laptop and expect the $2 Amazon cable and the dinky little phone charger to power it. It'll technically light up like it's charging, but it'll probably use more power on the laptop than you can pull from the wall. So your battery will just drain slower.
Is it bad for a battery to use a authorized, I guess, or whatever it is, compatible charger?
If you're in an Apple store, they say it is, but no. No, they're really safe. They don't really allow you to push more power than they're rated for.
Okay.
So I mean, if you use this 150 watt power supply for a laptop on a phone that's only pulling 10 watts on this little cable, it'll still be fine. But if you try and use this cheap cable on this device here, you're not going to get the 50 watts to charge your phone in 30 minutes. You're only going to get the 10.
What if it was reversed? What if you used a nice cable with maybe not so powerful of a box?
You're still going to get the same result. You're going to get a slow speed on the $50 cable with the $10 box.
Right.
Yeah.
So people ask, why spend $20 on a cable versus $4 on a cable?
Yeah, so basically it's going to take you a lot less time to charge your phone. Like that's one of the biggest things they're touting on all the newest Androids and iPhones is really short charge times from like 10 to 80%. You can do it in 20 minutes or less.
Right.
But you have to have the perfect scenario because they don't give you this in the box. So you think, oh, well, I just want to get this cheap little one. But if you really want to achieve those advertised speeds, you're going to need to get at least this 30 watt one, not the 10 watt one, and maybe even a bigger one, whatever they're recommending for that particular device.
Yeah, I've been guilty, and I know a lot of folks have, of charging your phone overnight, and then you get up in the morning and it just isn't charged, maybe because you have to be gone for a full day, maybe you're outdoors for a full day, and they complain and say it's the phone. And a lot of times, most likely, it's probably the combination of the two, maybe not a good powering device itself, or maybe not a strong enough cable.
Right. And that, they also have the wireless charging where it's magnetic and it charges.
That's cool. What is that? It opens up?
Yeah, it's a travel one, so you can do your watch and you can do two phones
you have three?
or your headphoons.
Cool.
But it's the same problem with these. They'll sell these things and they'll say they can deliver 30 watts of power and do a fast charge. But then you pair it up with these little 10 watt one, and then you lose about 20% when you're doing it wireless versus plugged in. So it charges really slow.
Yeah. Do you want to play a game real quick?
Sure.
Okay, can you tell me, without looking at can you tell me the data transfer speeds on these quick cables? Data transfer speed.
480 megabytes.
Transfer speed.
I don't know a lot.
I don't know the right answer.
I think it's 4 gigabits.
But data transfer speeds are a big part of that.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So if you've shot videos on your phone, you're going to upload them to your computer. You could be waiting there for a half an hour on this cheap cable, and you go to something like this, and you can do it in 2 minutes. And you go to something like this, and you do it in 30 seconds.
Okay, what's the difference between these two?
This is a USB-C, I believe, 3.0, and there's actually a 4.0 now.
Okay.
And this is a Thunderbolt. So this one isn't even USB, believe it or not. It has a USB connector on it, and it can theoretically do USB, but it's a Thunderbolt. It's a whole nother type of connector. It's
So you want the Thunderbolt.
Yeah, so it's Intel and Apple paired together to make this thing. So it's mostly on just Apple Pro devices.
Okay.
So like your Pro iPhone and your Pro Mac. But it makes things significantly faster if you're doing big video, HD 4K video.
Right, yeah. And you bringing up the speeds of trying to get stuff.
$50 cable.
It might be worth it though if you're
Yeah,
transferring videos or you've got a lot of stuff. Maybe you have a lot of videos of your kids and you're trying to get them online. Like Patrick said, using a better cable is really important because it will increase the time that it gets uploaded for you, but it also makes sure that your phone is charged properly, charged when you want it to be charged for grabbing all those great videos and things that you're going to end up uploading. So why did Apple go?
4 gigabytes, 40 gigabytes.
You were close.
Okay.
You were wrong. Yeah, you were wrong.
It's off by 10.
I love playing random games though. I think that's fun. Why did Apple leave what is this called?
That's a Lightning.
Oh, a Lightning. Thunderbolt.
Lightning and Thunder, yeah.
It's all going to be AC/DC themed.
Depends on how you want to look at it. One way they could regulate making sure that people are using the right type of cable to deliver the right amount of power to their phones. So that people didn't go buy the $2 phone, plug it into this, and be like, well, how come things are transferring slow and not charging fast? So that's why they did that. Also, so they could make money on the accessories because they take a percentage because they have the patent on this connector.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're seeing with the new iPhone that was just released, it's gone to the USB-C.
Yeah. Apple's finally adopting it on all their devices. The newest headphones finally all have it. The charging cases for the AirPods and the phones and the laptops and the iPads and even the Nintendo Switch had it like 5-6 years ago. Whenever it came out, it had USB-C. Your controllers for PlayStation 5, they're USB-C.
Yeah.
Almost all laptops are USB-C. I think all of them are now.
Yeah.
But that's another big one, just if you don't have the right connector for a laptop, you're just in a world of hurt.
Well, real quick, we're going to talk about some of the different power delivery capabilities. This thing is heavy.
Yeah, there's you have to know a little bit about electricity. So there's voltage, wattage, and amperage, and you take any of those two things, you can figure out the third missing one. So USB-C goes between 5 volts and 20 volts. So it's not just looking at the voltage, or it's not just looking at the wattage, it's also looking at the voltage and the amperage. So there's a significant amount of power difference getting to your device with this versus, this little guy.
This thing looks like the Mega one. It's like built in with the hardcore.
Yeah, so that's like a
hardcore.
I think that's an 85 watt one there, and this is a 150 watt one.
Will this power your car?
Very slowly. Like if you got a couple years to charge it.
A couple years, yeah. That's all the time. Question, Patrick. We're talking about the difference in the USB-C, not only the cords themselves, but also the power. What are these called? Power boxes? What's the official term? Do you know?
Well, they're the power supply.
Power supply.
They're the AC to
There you
DC
go.
converter. So this big cable is like an extension cord. This is your AC cable. It comes from the wall. It converts the 120 volts down to the dinky 5 volts that your phone uses, or your more expensive, bigger phones that can actually take the 20 volts to charge the battery faster.
Something I didn't think about, and some of you may have these in your home, and there's some of the outlet devices, the new outlet devices that are coming out. So you plug them into your old outlets, and they'll have USB-C and USB devices and ports like that. This whole time I've been thinking that I've been using that to charge my phone, and now I'm questioning if it's powerful enough.
Yeah, so the very first ones that came out like that, they're kind of dinky. They're kind of like 10 watts, 5 volts. They were great for the original iPhones, but the newer, bigger screen flip phone things, not so much. They'll take, a couple hours to charge you up.
Yeah, I didn't even think about when I bought it to look. Maybe I did buy a better one. I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, a lot of folks actually have those new plug-in devices that have all kinds of cool doodads and things for them. So it is important to look too at what the voltage is on those if you're buying those.
I'm trying to think of what the name. I can't remember the name of that other side of the connector, but there's the older USB before C. I can't remember if it's B, I think it's B, and then there's A, which is the other end that you have on those outlets. And they can still deliver higher power. So they call them PD for power delivery, and they can deliver higher watts over them. But you have to look for that PD symbol on there, and then that means
okay.
they can deliver more power. Not as much as these guys, but a lot more than.
Okay, so
than
that
the other
stands
ones.
for power delivery,
Yeah,
essentially. All right, cool.
Then they can also, one third layer that you can do is, because they're the same connector on each end, a lot of the devices allow power sharing. So you can take your phone and plug it into your laptop will charge whatever's the lower power device. So it'll charge your laptop will charge your phone.
Can
These
your phone
phones,
charge your
a
laptop?
phone can charge another phone between the wireless charging on certain Android devices. They can charge your iPhone with an Android phone. Yeah.
Is Android on USB-C?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm not an Androider. I'm an iPhoner, so I don't know that. But that's a cool looking phone. It's one of those flip phones.
Yeah, it's one of the little foldy.
Yeah, foldy
Foldy
cool.
phones.
It makes a huge
Yeah.
tablet. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's cool. Well, it's good that everybody's kind of going uniform when it comes to the chargers. I know I, for one, am appreciative. I have a purse full of chargers we were going to bust out. None of them were compatible with what we're talking about today, so it didn't matter. But I know I'm not alone when I have a ton of, or we all have a ton of different cords, you know. It's nice to go uniform. Now, is that going to lose them a bunch of money? I mean, people are still going to be buying cords.
A little bit.
Because Apple didn't want to change because they have the patent on this.
No, because it cost them 50 cents to make the cable, and they were charging $30 or $20 for the cable. So they fought it kicking and screaming. In the UK, they actually made a law, like all cell phones have to use this connector. You cannot sell a phone in Europe. So they kind of dragged them into it, kicking and screaming. But we can thank them for that.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to go to just one charger so I don't have to look in my purse.
Like even our mics use this USB-C.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Everything seems to be going to that.
Yeah.
Minus if you get the new Mac, it has a thicker, it's kind of like this cord here.
Oh yeah,
That
so
pull over, but
yeah, it's got the
like a
MagSafe.
magnet.
MagSafe, yeah, and that's part of that spec that can deliver the full 150 watts of this guy. Yeah.
Do we have any questions, Terry? Remember, you can always comment on YouTube below. There's a little comment section there. You can subscribe as well. You'll get dinged and notified when we go live next time with Patrick with Tech Tips and Wind River Internet. You can also comment on Facebook. You can send Patrick and the crew at Wind River Internet a message as well if you ever have any questions. If you just want to know more too about some USB-C chargers too, I mean, Patrick will take some time to answer some questions too, because this thing right here looks really snazzy, but it's really not that nice of a cord.
That's a cheap Temu cable.
Oh, Temu! Probably kill me touching it.
It cost like $2.50.
This is a Temu cord. It looks fancy though. See, this would trick me.
It is actually rated for the little bit higher speed data and power. So even though it is a cheap one, it did have the correct specs. I would not trust it for anything super serious though, because it's a cheap cable.
It looks nice though, doesn't it?
It looks sturdy.
It looks fancy.
But the big thing is it doesn't kink. But it's
I have a question. Is there any exception to the rule if my device is charging too slow, if I pay more, will it be faster, generally speaking?
Pay more for the cable
Yeah.
if you have the right combination.
So you got to consider all the
Yeah.
The power supply.
Yeah, it's like using a hose or something, and or a pipe. You know, and you got a big pipe on one end, but you're going into a little one. It's not going to come out any faster on the end. Yeah. So.
Good question, Scott.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you got to rewatch this video.
But, I mean, you can't go wrong if you go with the biggest power supply and the biggest cable.
This is just what I want to lug around. At least if someone had to look at this.
But if you're charging something like your AirPods, they don't use 5 watts of power, so you're not going to charge them any faster with this guy versus this guy to charge your headphones.
How did we put a man on the moon and this thing is still this heavy and clunky? Can't they take this technology into that, though?
Well, you can't see it, but that power supply right there is actually less powerful than this one, and this one's about half the size.
Touche.
There is another company, though, Anker, and they make they use ultra capacitors, and they are half the size for the same amount of power. But they charge you.
Money, it's all
Money
makes the
and
world
power,
go round.
yeah.
Patrick, you have any ideas for our next segment? Have you been thinking about anything else?
Boy, I haven't.
Any updates on fiber or what's going on with Wind River Internet?
We've been waiting on our new routers to come in. but they're very impressive. We've gotten some to test out, and they literally do double the wireless speeds. So like we deliver
literally need one of those.
Yeah, so we do gigabit fiber now, but the wireless technology's on older devices, the 5 gigahertz, you can't get more than like 600 megs out of it. So you're still like, there's 400 megs just sitting there that you can't use unless you use an Ethernet cable. But with the 6 gigahertz channel width, you can, we're doing tests that are close to 2 gigabytes. So we'll put them in now for people who have 1 gigabit plans, and then we're going to probably offer some bigger speeds here.
Oh, cool. I'll be watching
soon.
for that.
So,
I mean, mine's good. I mean, I'm a customer of Wind River Internet. Mine's good, but I always take more speed. I mean, I'm not opposed to more speed.
And it'll be very affordable. So
yeah, awesome, great.
We'll stay tuned.
Yes, well, we'll be back with our next Tech Tips will be in November. And so if you have any ideas, any questions, you can always send them to anybody with County 10 or Wind River Internet. Myself, if you know me, Shireen the Adventure Queen, I'd love to hear from you. Well, we've had a lot of fun. We still need to get out in the Tesla truck one of these times for an episode. Yeah. Terry wants a ride. Everybody wants a ride.
All right, sure.
All right. We're going to take this show on the road, hopefully, one of these times. So, Patrick, anything else that we need to talk about? We kind of covered the compatibility.
Yeah, just people in the Fort Washakie area, you've probably seen our crew working hard all summer. We're going to get that whole area done before the end of the year. So, if you're probably already aware there's fiber going in. We'll start doing the installs around the holidays again, like we did in ETT last year.
Oh, perfect time when the snow flies.
Yeah. Well, we got to get everything in the ground.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah,
that's first. That's most important. All right, in short, for this episode, not all USB-Cs are created the same, and like Patrick mentioned, the best choice kind of depends on the need for whatever you're trying to power. So check those things, and remember, cheaper is not always better.
Yep.
All right, we'll be back with another episode of Tech Tips. I'm Shireen the Adventure Queen and Patrick Lawson.
Bye.